January is here, start of 2024, and of course it's a brand new year. We are always excited to get into the stats. I have all the numbers, so I know the results and everything, and it's time to share them with you. Well, here we are at the very start of February, which means January, the first month of a whole brand new year in Halifax real estate, has finished, and we can have a look at the results, see how we did, compare it to last year more or less, because that's the biggest factor, compare it to last month as well, because we always want to see how it's changed. And of course, number one, it's always the thing that everybody wants to know is what happened to the price, because we've been bouncing around constantly in that kind of like 580 to 640, down to 620, down to 565. We've been all over the place and it's never really settled. So it hasn't really settled again either, because our average price, we're at just short of $577,000 for the month of January. Compared to last month, we are up 6%, which is about $31,000. So it was 31,000 puts us like 545, something like that last month. But also we are up 8% on January 2023, which is $42,000. So that shows that we are still a pretty steady, very buoyant market. And we did a podcast on this as well, which is all about like, has the Halifax market crashed? And this is one of those things that you go, no, it hasn't crashed, and I can't see it crashing either. Not when we look at these kind of numbers and how steady the market has become. We're not doing this, like up $30,000 this month, up $40,000 next month, up $50,000 the month after. Those sorts of things are not really happening, but we are kind of staying steady, but we are fluctuating. We are definitely bouncing around a little bit. So for sellers, be really good and spend some time with your agent, making sure that your market strategy, your pricing strategy is spot on. Buyers, we've done a few things recently, which is really kind of highlighted with some of the stuff that we've done personally this month with clients of ours, which is good properties in good areas at a good price are going quick. Looked at a place today in the south end of Halifax, pretty nicely done overall, and it was third day on the market. We tried to get in at 12 o'clock noon. We were told at 9 o'clock this morning an offer's come in. So do you want to go in and compete? We said it's not going to work for us, but we'll still take the viewing anyway. So there is still offers coming in fast. Talking to my mortgage broker, he also said that this January has been his busiest January on record since he's been a broker for about 10 years. Everybody is getting ready. So buyers, you're going to have to just get off the fence. Start planting the seeds now, because we know that the interest rates are likely, big warning, likely to go down for the rest of this year. We don't know when, but there is definitely a feeling from all of the other buyers that are getting mortgage pre-approvals that if you're a buyer and you have your mortgage pre-approval, get out, start looking and find something to buy before it becomes a little bit of a craziness that we could see probably like towards the spring, like April, May. That's potentially what could happen. So we've covered off the price. Now, sale to list price in terms of the percentage from a list price to the sale price, we're at 98.4%. Last month, that was 100. Last year, that was 97.5. So we're still underneath 100% sale to list price. So it's still sticking like fairly good in terms of like just under. Now, absolutely, there are some markets in here that are over asking price. One of those, Woodlawn Portland Estates, their average to sale price is 107%. Just a little bit over asking price there. Same thing if you look at Southdale Manor Park, 5% over asking. Creighton Park and Aldborough Lake, 5.9% over asking. So Dartmouth as a whole market is still very strong with not a lot of listings. Same thing goes for Lower Sackville. Lower Sackville though, where's Lower Sackville on here? They are there. They are actually 98.6%. So they've actually come down because Sackville was always, again, one of those really strong markets where it was over asking price. So they're off a little bit because they're down 1.4%. Now let's look at days on market. 50 50 days on market. We were 38 last month, but 47 last year. So it kind of stacks up a little bit with last year. And as we go into some of the other numbers, you'll kind of get a feel for what's going on in terms of those days on market, because there are definitely a few markets that have accelerated those days on market, just because of the amount of properties that sold at a really high days on market have pulled the whole thing up. So I wouldn't be too worried about that if you were a seller, because again, it's all about your strategy. If you can get a good strategy, follow a market plan, follow the advice of your realtor, you're not going to be 50 days on market. Like 50 days on market to me tells me that you have not been looking at the market corrections, you've not been looking at fair market value, and you've not been looking at reducing the price to keep in line with that fair market value. Number of houses sold, we are 197, more or less the same as it was last month. Last year, 162. So you can see that last year, January was pretty quiet. This year at 197, a little bit better, but still fairly quiet because it's comparable to December. Usually January is a little bit busier, but not this time. Number of homes active, 626. More or less the same as last month, get the theme here. But last year that was 458 last year. So we're definitely putting more houses on the market, and that has definitely contributed to the longer days on market. But the weird thing here is the inventory has stuck at 3.2 months. So we've got a good amount of houses for sale. We've not been selling a huge amount, and also we've not listed a lot of new houses in January either. So we'll come back to what's going on there. So 3.2 months, 3.2 last month, 2.8 last year. So that gives you kind of a clue as to where all our numbers are going. One of the big things I always like is that sale to new listings ratio. So in other words, how many did we sell versus how many did we put on market for sale? This month it was 58%. So we sold 197, we put 340 on the market in terms of new listings. So nearly double the houses that we sold, we actually listed new ones for sale. So then why didn't the months of inventory go up? Because that's like, hang on a minute, that doesn't make a lot of sense. But here's what does make sense. Expireds and cancels. Those are the listings where people have either said, okay, do you know what? I'm just not doing this anymore. We're not getting the results we want, so I'm going to cancel the listing, take it off the market. Maybe I will, maybe I won't relist later on in a better potential market. The word there is potential. Also, you've got expireds. We tried to sell it for 4 months, nothing happened, and we came to the end of our agreement. The property, the listing just expired, and that property came off the market. No sale. So that's the missing thing that we're looking at here when we go, well, hang on a minute, 58%, but like days on market went up, okay, but the inventory didn't change. Expireds and termination and cancellations, those are the things that you've got to look at. So we were 58%. 136% in December because we sold more than we actually put new listings on the market. But last year it was at 64%, so fairly similar. So again, we're back into fairly predictable trends in terms of what's going on in the Halifax market that we never had when we were in those 2021 and 2022 years, a little bit of 2020 as well. So there's a lot more stability coming into our market, and that's also shown by the fact that we're at 98.4% sale to list price. We're kind of getting back into that feeling. It's just what we're not doing necessarily is putting more houses for sale, and the houses aren't staying for sale. They're either selling, they're expiring, or they're being cancelled in terms of the listing. So that kind of explains some of the stuff that's going on just in general in the market. One of the other things I want to talk to you about is terminations. We have seen a lot in terms of January, and really a few in December as well. Terminations are, you make an offer on the property and you are subject to conditions. Typically, financing, inspection, lawyer, insurance, those tend to be the big four, unless you're on a drilled well and septic field, in which case you're going to add on water quality, water quantity, and septic. Now, a termination can happen because during that period of you being conditional, working through by your due diligence, checking the house inspection, making sure you can get financing, nothing wrong with the title on the property, and therefore the lawyer doesn't have to get involved. If any of those fail, you can terminate the agreement and walk away. So we didn't qualify for our financing, or the lawyer found something wrong, or the house inspection, something showed up really big on the house inspection, can't be fixed, not even interested in negotiating price or who's going to fix it and any of that kind of stuff, just walk away from the deal. Often that is a financing problem. It tends not to be something on the house inspection because we can usually negotiate our way through that. Having said that, not so successfully on one we did in the middle of January, but anyway, that's another one. And there was reasons for that, but we're not going to go into that. So that's really what can happen, is we're seeing a lot of financing problems going on. Maybe it's the rush into the pre-qualification and people are stretching themselves a little bit potentially. So always think about that backup offer world. Doesn't tie you into the property. You can still go and find another property, offer on that, have that accepted, and then just basically notify the backup offer person, agent, that you're walking away from the deal. So absolutely consider backup offers, because terminations are fairly frequent at the moment. Not frequent, bad choice of word. Just there are a few more than we would want in that purpose. Right, let's have a look at some specific markets. Number one market is actually Timberley Prospect, St. Margaret's Bay area. Been out of the top for a while, but this one by far was like a lot more sales than the rest of the markets. This one had 29 sales in the month. Average sale price there, $586,000, 98.4%. Spookily the average for the whole market in terms of sale to list price. 42 days on market, 83 houses sold, gives us 2.9 months of inventory. Pretty popular market, like 29 homes being sold in that area is definitely, like, when I look at the rest of the numbers, quite a lot, because in second place was East Hants Colchester. So that's the Elmsdale, Enfield, Lance corridor. Average sale price there, $434,200, 98.3% sale to list price. 87 days on market, but only 21 houses sold, 94 active, which gives them 4.5 months, one of the highest amounts of inventory we've got in the market, especially when you're looking at the top 3 active markets. And then third place, we're back into Bedford. Sackville, missed out this time, sorry. You didn't quite get there, but 16 homes sold there. So that gives you an idea of, like, overall, we were fairly far down if number 3 position was only 16 homes sold. $766,500 average sale price there, 97.3% sale to list price, and 122 days on market. So when we're talking about the number of days on market being pretty high and a certain market's influencing it, that was Bedford. There was a lot of old, long days on market houses there, especially once you got over the $800,000 number. There was 2 of them that sold for over $1 million in Bedford, and one of them had been on the market for 465 days. 465 days. Somebody probably got a decent discount off the selling price on that one. But that really, really drags up the overall average for the days on market. Now they have 55 active, that gives them 3.4 months of inventory. So that is all of the data about January. The trick is to make sure that you kind of listened at the very start about what to do if you're a buyer and what you're doing if you are a seller. And we would love to share with you basically how our clients are actually getting those offers accepted. That one early in the middle of January, we'll kind of just gloss over that one because that was just an unreasonable seller that wouldn't budge from inspection results. Can't do anything about that. But we would love to share with you for the buyers what we're doing, as well as how our marketing strategy is going to get you that fair market value. And we've got the whole process about how we make sure that we are not missing the market. If those 2 things are your interest to you, then definitely leave a comment down below, click on one of the links. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell, and we will get another video out to you very soon.